Welcome back to day 2 of the C-Space Studio live from CES 2026 in fabulous Las Vegas. I'm your host, James Kotecki, and we're talking with marketing, branding, and advertising leaders here all day long about the future of human connection. We are live and we are loving it. You can find the entire schedule at the C-Space Studio page on ces.tech/C-Space Studio. You can also just Google C-Space Studio. I'm pretty sure it will come up. Make sure you're tuned into all the CES social channels for conversations with leaders from Reddit, Microsoft, Roblox, Tubi, AARP, and many more. And kicking us off today is Kroger Precision Marketing's Senior Vice President, Christine Foster. Welcome to the C-Space Studio, Christine.
Hi, James. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for being here through that preamble. And we're really excited. We're really excited to get into Kroger Precision Marketing with you. People know that, I assume people at C-Space probably know that Kroger Precision Marketing is the retail media arm of Kroger. But something tells me that you're now about more than just media. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so over the last year, we really set out on a mission to really redefine what retail media is. And so earlier in the spring of 2025, we took the time to ask ourselves a few questions. What do brands really need today in order to plan, better and optimize better and measure effectively, get better insights? So we took our consumer insights business, our loyalty marketing business, and our retail media business and combined them. And we found that that has really amplified our ability to help brands plan better.
So was it almost like a definitional thing where you needed to actually go back to the foundation and kind of redefine this?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of friction in the ecosystem, and we didn't want to add to it. And internal structures can add to it. And so we really took the time to say, what can we do to make it more frictionless for brands to have the insight and be able to activate on it. And so we brought all of those teams together within Kroger Precision Marketing, and it's been exciting. We've seen a lot of good feedback from the market, from our brands, and we're excited to continue and push into new things this year.
Tell me more about what that combination looks like. Are there differences that would be noticed from the consumer perspective, from the perspective of brands working with you in terms of how they engage with you?
From the perspective of brands, CPGs specifically have had a tough year, right? And they have complex problems, and complex problems require comprehensive set solutions. And so by taking our insights business, by taking our loyalty marketing business, by taking our retail media business and connecting them, both structurally and technically, we are able to really truly help take insight to activation for these brands.
And so I assume, does the technical piece mean that it's like everybody's pulling from the same data, everyone has access to the same information?
Correct. There's always room to keep going and improving, but now we're all working off the same strategy. The same language, the same conversations with brands, and building on the insights that our data allows us to provide for them.
Yeah. Do you have any new insights come out of this that wouldn't have, when you're kind of siloed, they don't?
I think so. There's such great feedback from clients and the team already in kind of seeing things that you wouldn't have seen, right? When you can look at the purchase signals collectively and understand what is the insight, what is happening with this brand at Kroger, and what do we do about it? How do we help them? And that's been the goal for us, because when the brand wins, Kroger wins, and we're excited about that for them.
And this is really important because customer desires and preferences are always changing quickly. Do you see that reflected in the data? And is that?
You are what you buy, right? And
better or worse.
Right. And food is deeply personal and emotional. So the purchase signals that we have are, bar none in terms of really understanding consumer behavior at the granular level. And so by using this purchase data in that way, we're able to derive insights that are again, second to none in terms of making sure we can help brands activate marketing strategies in the most optimal way possible, eliminating all the waste that's in the ecosystem traditionally.
We've had the C-Space Studio open now for 5 minutes today, and that means we have to talk about AI.
Of course.
We've gone too long without mentioning that. So tell me about the AI that's built into all of this and how you think of AI in these terms.
Well, just off the bat, 8451, which powers Kroger Precision Marketing, is a data science company. So it's in our DNA. Machine learning is in our DNA, and we're excited that the rest of the world is catching up on that. For us, these types of solutions require clean and performant data, and those with membership and loyalty programs have an advantage. At Kroger, 95% of our sales transactions are connected to a loyalty card, which makes the visibility into the consumer behavior that can be acted upon by a brand so much more special. It's definitely more impactful for the brand.
And are you in some ways a privileged position compared to other marketers in that people maybe enthusiastically opt in to this, right? Because it means savings, they can see it in their bottom line.
It's a value exchange, right? The customer knows and is excited about using their loyalty card because there's value in it for them. They're going to get cash back, they're going to get fuel points, they're going to get nutritional insights. There's a lot there, and so it should always be a value exchange when you are collecting data from.
I want to talk, absolutely. And I want to talk about the ways that CTV and streaming audio are playing into this. I mean, when you think about that in the retail media context, what's Kroger thinking about?
Yeah, well, brands need personalized experiences everywhere, and so the utility of the retail data is so powerful. We have been working with brands or platforms across the ecosystem and different channels to make sure our retail data is there when a brand needs to activate on it, inclusive of CTV, inclusive of streaming audio. It's a really powerful, we know that this data is really powerful. We want to make sure that brands don't have, they can seamlessly activate on it when they get into these platforms across channels, across social, across streaming audio, across CTV. And it's our job to make sure we're there when they get online.
And these digital experiences are increasingly in stores as well, right? Or at least the experience of seeing something interesting on a screen. Yeah. And so I imagine that plays into it too, right? Where you can imagine a future where the experience of going to the store is more of like an experience.
Yeah, it truly is. And the stores are such an underutilized space for us right now, for the industry at large right now. And it's where consumers spend a lot of time, right? It's where they are looking for inspiration. They're in the discovery mode, and there's an opportunity for brands to reach them when they are in that mindset. And so we're really excited about the expansion of in-store screens across the Kroger footprint, a brick and mortar footprint, so that brands can reach them in a truly omni-channel fashion now.
Yeah, I mean, and it's what's so interesting about that space is it's very exciting to think about what's happening now, and it's not hard to imagine all these pieces kind of converging in the future. So if you and I are talking here in a year, 2 years, 5 years, that all the pieces are kind of on the board now to imagine a user at home on a screen, looking at something in the store on a screen, and that's tied to their loyalty program, and all these things are tied together.
It really should be, and that is truly what an omni-channel experience is. And we're excited to make sure that that is both offline, online, and in our stores now.
It's time for the philosophical portion of this conversation, which is the potential tension between performance marketing and creativity. Gets all, of course, into the conversations around creativity and AI and what does it mean to be human in this world in 2026. So again, I said it was philosophical. Take that however you want.
I am really excited. I think, and I've said this to a couple people at CES so far, I think that this is the year where we're going to see brand marketing and performance marketing start to converge more fully. And that's helped along by two things. A lot of structural changes. I think systemically the industry is realizing you can't keep these things separate. They aren't separate. They should, and they are more powerful when they work together. And technology. I mean, we've already talked about AI and machine learning, and the advancements in technology are really going to help us there.
Are you still optimistic about human creativity and all this?
Absolutely. I mean, if anything, all of that technology and the unification of, at least at Kroger, the unification of our teams only make us have the insight that actually feed and fuel what the creative should be, which then teams can optimize media against.
And then people buy their groceries that feed and fuel them. So it all works together. Christine Foster, Kroger Precision Marketing, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me, James.
And thank you so much for joining us. We are just starting day 2 of the C-Space Studio here at CES 2026. I'm James Kotecki. Don't go anywhere. More after this short break.